The new best way to learn Yu-Gi-Oh! Is here. Hello guys and welcome back to another cold episode. On today's episode, I wanted to showcase the character deck duels within Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Links. Now, the reason for this is because it's a great way to learn how to play Yu-Gi-Oh!, to teach people how to play Yu-Gi-Oh!, and it is a nice lower power format that is more akin to that of something like Edison format, for those of you who know, or just old school Yu-Gi-Oh! Let me explain. In Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Links, you have access to a new way to play duels in character deck duels. As you can see, we have speed duels, we have rush duels, and then we have the character deck duels. And with the character deck duels, what we can do is we can change each of our decks to 9 different how many is 9? 9 different characters, and all of them have a specific curated deck free to play. I don't have all of these cards. They are here for free for me, right? So, you can see each of these decks already start with full extra deck and a full main deck, and each one of them also has a skill to go with it. Now, this may seem daunting for newer players, but basically the skill will just activate on its own, allowing you the ability to just have the cards you need. For example, with Synchron Trigger, it puts a bunch of useful non-tuners into your grave that you can then revive with something like Junk Synchron or with Quick Draw on your field, giving you the ability to immediately go into some powerful Synchro monsters, like Stardust Dragon, like Junk Archer, or Junk Destroyer. This is a great way to understand the core mechanics of Synchro Summoning without being too daunting. Also, because the deck is already curated for you, and everyone else is also playing a specifically curated deck, you are not really having to learn the complicated intricacies of deck building, and you get to kind of understand just how to play the game, which is great. So if you're a new player, I would highly recommend jumping into and looking at some of these character deck duels, right? As you can see, here's Jack Atlas's, right? I was playing 5Ds, so you can see I was playing 5Ds, but we also have Joey, Kaiba, and Yugi all with their signature decks, or I should say signature monsters decks, so Dark Magician, Blue Eyes, and Red Eyes. And we also go all the way up to Zexal, but we do not have Pendulum nor Link, which means that you don't have to learn those mechanics. You can just kind of learn the basics of Yu-Gi-Oh! And then potentially step into a more advanced format with regular Duel Links. Now, one of the interesting things about this is that not only do you get all of these, right? You get all of the free decks. You can just freely play as a new player. You can pick it up, play it, see how it goes. Fantastic. Not only that, but you also gain access to the ability to upgrade. So all of these little star chips allow you one additional card in your deck that you can utilize in order to upgrade your deck. So say, for example, I'm not that big of a fan of this specific build. What I can do is I can actually trade out some of my star chips in order to change a card. You know, add another Mystical Space Typhoon, or add Mirror Force, or add something else of that nature to the deck, right? So all in all, you still get the ability to upgrade your deck if you so choose, right? Like, for example, you know, adding in a Book of Moon, or adding in another Mystical Space Typhoon, or something of that nature. And again, because the card list is curated, you're not going to get a bunch of very complicated cards. You're not going to have to contend with, like, a myriad of different wild effects, you know, having to deal with this or that or the other thing. But you're still learning Yu-Gi-Oh! It's still complex enough to be considered Yu-Gi-Oh!, right? There's enough of the new mechanics, there's enough of the new ideas, and generally how Yu-Gi-Oh! Works, you'll understand when you jump into more advanced Yu-Gi-Oh! However, it is speed duels, which is something to keep in mind, which is that it's 3 spell and trap card zones, and 3 monster zones, and you get, of course, a skill, which means that it's slightly different from something like Yu-Gi-Oh! Master Duel or regular paper Yu-Gi-Oh! But from personal experience, I learned the game through Duel Links, and learning how it went. And all in all, it was a great time for me to just pick up and learn. Let me actually show you what these duels look like. But as you can see, here we go. We're playing against another Dark Magician player. We're also playing Dark Magician. And again, the duels are pretty simple, and the skills will generally just activate on their own, right? So you'll see, I don't believe I actually drew the activation requirement for the skill, so never mind. We're going to go Magician's Rod here. We're going to activate its effect. We are going to add to hand Magician Navigation. And then I will activate Dark Magical Circle. Okay, great. I would like to add to the hand the Illusion Magic. We'll put those two onto the top. Then I can activate the Illusion Magic here, tributing off the guy to grab 2 Dark Magicians to the hand. And now we get to set one. My opponent will likely have a skill that they will activate, and we'll set a second one, and we'll pass the turn. So you'll see their Magician's trigger will immediately activate. They're going to grab the Magician Navigation, which will set it. And I believe it can be activated this turn because I control a card. Do I have to control a card? No, monster. Okay. So they're going to go for their own Dark Magical Circle. Fantastic. They're going to search the top 3 cards of their deck and then add one to the hand. All right. So they were able to add Dark Magic Expanded to their hand, and I'm fairly certain we know that they have the Dark Magician in their hand as well. We'll see if they normal summon something, or if they have an additional play here. They're just going to set a card, and then they're going to go to the end phase. In the end phase, I will activate my own Magician Navigation. We will special summon the Dark Magician from hand, as well as a Dark Spellcaster. I think it's just a Spellcaster. From the deck. We're going to go Dark Magical Circle, targeting the middle card, which happens to be their Magician Navigation. And we're also going to tribute off this Dark Magician so that we can grab back our Magician's Rod. So there's that. We're going to trigger our effect as well in order to reborn our Dark Magician. And the game is kind of playing it for me so that I can kind of learn what's happening, right? If you have a question, you can go over here, you can read, oh, this effect activated. During the opponent's turn, if you activate a spell, trap card, or effect, you can special summon this card from your hand. And then if a spell, trap card, or effect is activated while the card is face up, you can target a Dark Magician in your grave and special summon. So those are the effects that are available for this card. Now, they might still have another set Magician's Navigation, but that's okay, because now we have a Dark Magician on our field, and this guy can banish itself from the grave to target a face-up spell trap the opponent controls and negate its effects. So, we're pretty solid there. We can actually just normal summon another Magician's Rod, and then grab up another Dark Magician Navigation, or Magician's Navigation, which is pretty good. So, we're going to add the Magician's Navigation. I could activate this, which would give me kind of nothing. So I'm actually just going to set. Also, there's no main phase 2, so we just have to go combat and then immediately go into the end phase. So we're going to go combat here. I'm feeling pretty good. We're going to attack for 16. We'll see if they have anything. They have an offerings, sure. They have to pop the Dark Magician here, otherwise they die. Yeah, that's fine. There you go. And the game is over. That's it. It's very simple. It's very simplified, right? And overall, that is generally how the games go. They're still fast-paced because they're speed duels, so half the life points, half the zones, right? Just less to do generally. But as you can see, we get these respect orbs, which we can then use in the shop, which I don't know why I didn't go to the shop there. That was weird. And then, yeah, you can buy, like, gems. You could buy XP potions and all of that jazz. So it's pretty interesting. I'm a big fan of the character deck duels. I think they're great. I think they're another great way to play Yu-Gi-Oh! Just in general. Very old school style format, and it's great. I've thought it's great. Obviously, I've said it like 4 times in a row here. I'm sorry. I need to think of another word. But all in all, fantastic way to learn the game of Yu-Gi-Oh, but also just a great way to play old school style Yu-Gi-Oh, right? Again, the most complicated thing here is XZ summoning, which I will say is at least a little bit more complex, but for the most part, it is pretty good. So all in all, those are my thoughts. I just wanted to kind of give you a general rundown of how this works and just character deck duels, showcase it, because it didn't really get a lot of fanfare. At least from Konami, right? They did like a little video about it, but that was it. So all in all, I'm pretty excited about it. So check it out. Thank you guys so much for watching, and remember to always stay frosty. Bye-bye.